Welcome back to SevereMMA. My name is Andy Stevenson, and today I'm joined by Aaron McDonald, who's taking on Hascen Gelezi, coming up at Oktagon 48 in just a matter of days now. So you're heading over to Manchester in a few days. Welcome to the channel, Aaron. Our first time speaking.
Yes, here. Thank you very much for having me on. It's a pleasure. I've been waiting on the call. So here we go. Maybe just the right time for the pro debut.
Absolutely. Well, look, maybe I suppose that's probably a good way to start off. As you know, we said your first time on, so we might get to know you a bit better. So, 27 years old, am I right?
Yes, you're indeed.
Fighting out of Belfast. So, what was Aaron McDonald like growing up? What was life growing up like for you?
Oh, mate, I always get this question, because I said a few things in that show now. But I was in my football and my Gaelic. Was all right at it, like, you know what I mean. I got places with it, but I was a wee bit of a bad boy back in the day, you know what I mean. So got into a bit of trouble when I was younger, but I managed to get myself to university, and that's where I found MMA. So I was over in Liverpool uni, and got involved and got talking to Dean Garnett, and then that's when I started MMA. I actually done my work experience when I was over in university in an MMA gym, and then that's how I got started. So
No way.
yeah, that's the life of Aaron McDonald. Like, so yeah, but now we're here. Now we're fighting
What
in,
position were you playing Gaelic football?
oh, midfield, mate. I was the engine, the brute
Okay.
force. Yeah, so you could the coach used to say you can rely on Aaron to run through walls for us. So I always take that with me when I'm getting down in the cage.
And who did you play for?
At the team in Lisbon, because I think, like, I don't know if it's like that down south, but where you're from, you sort of had to play for your club. So yeah, I played for Lisbon, St Patrick's Lisbon. So
Oh yeah,
up some Pats.
the local parish. I was just saying we were chatting just before we started recording. I was saying my dad's from Lisbon. Not a I wouldn't have put it down for a real Gaelic stronghold up there.
Oh, certainly not. Sure, the barracks, the army owned our pitch. I think they still do own the pitch. Like, so, so our pitch is there, the barracks is there. So, it was a funny situation, but we've done a few good things in our past. We won a few trophies, and we got together, and we didn't let that bring us down.
Absolutely representing strong. So obviously, so you're
Yeah.
playing Gaelic football growing up, and you find MMA in Liverpool, but you said you used to get into a bit of trouble. I know you talked about it on the show. Obviously, Octagon Challenge, Team Ireland versus Team England, has just wrapped up. A brilliant show. You talked a little bit about getting in trouble. Maybe kind of falling in with the wrong crowd, etc. What was that like? Were you getting in fights on out and about, or like had you any experience of combat before finding MMA in Liverpool?
Yeah, well, like, you obviously know the crack in Ireland. Like, we all went to a boxing club when we were younger, for a couple of years. My dad threw me into the boxing club for a couple of years, but like, that was the only bit of combat I had. But I was just doing that sort of to keep my dad and all happy. But it was hanging about the wrong crowds, and then I was an angry wee kid, you know what I mean? And I used to always get in fights, and then, when you were younger, started drinking and stuff, and you just getting fights, and then hanging about the wrong crowd, just getting into some stuff that I should never been involved in. But as I say, it's like, I'm not saying it was a positive experience, and it was obviously negative, but like, it taught me great lessons, like, because I know a few boys who are involved in stuff like that there now, and they're in their 20s, and it's not good to be doing that. So I'm happy that I got it out of me when I was younger. So yeah, but look, it's just one of them things, isn't it? I'm in a good place now. I'm being a good person and being a good human being. So that's the most important thing.
And then moving to Liverpool, obviously, when you're a young lad, that's a big decision. Like a lot of people will
Yeah.
typically stay around in near enough to where they're from. What was the decision there? Was that purely just you got a college course accepted, or what was it?
Well, like, look, I'll be honest with you. Like, there was a wee bit of trouble going on at the time, and um, one of my friends basically kicked out of Northern Ireland. So I wasn't saying that I was next, like, but there was just a lot of talk, and my mum and dad basically just wanted me to, set a sail and get out of the place, to get out of that bad environment, and make a better life for myself. So I was still going to tech at the time, and I got an opportunity, I got an offer to go to university. So my mum and dad says, "You're taking that. You're not staying here. You're not getting any more trouble, son." So yeah, I took that and went to Liverpool, and it was the best decision I ever made. Just the amount of opportunities that I got from it, and just it sort of makes you become a man. Like, I was 19, 19, and you're still a kid, like, you know what I mean. You're still, I should have grown up a wee bit more, but I was still acting like a wee we rat, you know what I mean? We brat, sorry. And so therefore, like when I went out there, it was just, it was sort of needed to happen. There was things going on in the background, and yeah, it just needed to happen. My dad wanted me to go there, so I just wanted to listen to them, like, you know what I mean?
And when you first arrived into Liverpool, like what was your reaction? Or like were you enjoying it immediately? Was there a kind of a settling in process? What was that like as a 19-year-old unruly kid by the sounds of things?
Man, it was actually like the first year of university was mad, mate. Like, so I went out there and I'll just say this, that I did a lot of partying. So maybe it took me a year to sort myself out. But the first year of uni was it's because like it was just like it's obviously not like back home, you know what I mean? There's like you walk down the street, there's nightclubs, bars, everyone's going on. I was like a kid in the candy shop. So I went nuts over there. No, I didn't go nuts like, but I had a good time.
Hmm.
Let's say that. And yeah, I had a great time when I got over there. And but like after I think, you know, I failed the first year in uni, and I was just like, right, okay, let's sort myself out here. And then that was like the kick up the arse, because obviously I was like, I've just messed up. I was messing up back home. Now I'm messing up back here. And then that's when it all started to change. And then that was like at the first year when I was over in university, I actually I hadn't started MMA yet, and I was still trying to play Gaelic for the university team, but that was just a drinking session as well. And I wanted to stop all that and stop all that life. And I just then decided, right, I need something else. I need something else to push me and something to keep me disciplined. And that's when the MMA came. I came across the MMA.
And so when you said you met Dean Garnett, was it? How did you meet Dean, or was it through him that you started MMA, or was it as a result of finding a gym?
No, yeah. So basically, my teacher. So I failed the first year of uni, and then I started a new course. And in that new course, my head teacher, like the person, like form teacher, basically whatever, like in school, like, but she was like the head. She was very fond of me. She just really liked me. She was a great woman. She actually helped me out a lot in uni and stuff. And she was saying about like, oh, what you want to do. So she said, I said there I wanted to do MMA and stuff, and I wanted to get involved in that. And she was like, I used to teach one of the guys from Liverpool who's opened up his own gym and stuff. So she used to teach. She teach me and Dean did the exact same course. Obviously, he did it before me, and then she introduced me to him and says, "Look, you can come down there, do work experience and stuff." So my teacher for my course was the same teacher as Dean Garnett, and she
Okay,
offered
small
me
world.
small world, man. You know what I mean? So things are meant to happen. You know what I mean? And yeah, I went down to Dean's gym and then signed up in there, and then like yeah, that was it. And actually took like a white collar type of thing. Like when I got there, I was like, I wanted to fight. I wanted to get straight into it, and took a white collar fight within like 2 weeks that I was there. And I was like, oh, I love this thing, and that's when it all started. The discipline and all was. I just was like, this is great for me. You know what I mean? Because obviously it was I was a pumped up, wee angry kid, you know what I mean? And being able to release all that energy, it was perfect for me.
Do you remember the first day, the first session? What was that like? Your first taste of MMA?
Yeah, I do. I remember like I don't even know. I think I'm pretty sure I went on the day sparring was happening. And like I was like, oh yeah, I can fight, I can do this, I can do that. And then I had to spar one of these big lads, and he punched the absolute head off me. But I was like, right, I need to sort myself out here. This is I thought I could fight, you know what I mean? And then next thing you know, I got my head punched off me. But that was like a sort of like a kick up the arse that I needed, you know what I mean? And I think everyone needs that. You need to get a good beating, and then you realize, right here, fuck, I'm not the end all be all, you know, I'm not the bee's knees here, like, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what probably got me probably fully invested in getting my head kicked in by some big middleweight.
And did that change your perspective? Like, you're talking about kind of getting a bit of trouble back home, having to almost leave, in order to change your ways. Like once you started MMA, did that have an impact at all, kind of psychologically or anything like that, or did that take a while?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Like it that was like that when I felt the just like even the fact that like we shook hands after and all like the sparring, I was just like sort of like, what the hell is going on here? These boys just beat the head off each other and we're all friendly and all, you know what I mean? And then I was like, shit, have I got this all wrong? And then like I just started to feel like that the martial artist way. I just started to be like, this is the way to be. You know, it's not all about anger and maliciousness and animosity. It's like, you know, it's not like to be sort of hippie and all, but like love and peace and all, not being not being not saying being nice because it's a violent sport, but like it started to teach me that, you know, it's not all about that. It's about, being a good person and having discipline and doing the good things and having good habits and stuff. So yeah, like from the get-go, I was like, yeah, this is just what I needed in my life. And I think this is a great path to be on. I would say to any young kids who are getting in any trouble, that's what they need to be doing. They need to be in some sort of combat sport, because the discipline it gives you, and it just changes your mindset. You know, if you are going through if you are being, you get, you know what I mean, it does give you that discipline, and it can change the mindset. So yeah, it was perfect situation at the right time.
Absolutely. And look, you've had some great opportunities since then. Obviously, you made your amateur debut back in 2018. Picked up
Yep.
a couple of titles along the way, Clan Wars and Ur. And now you're in Oktagon, right? So the call comes
Yes.
for Oktagon. They're looking for some Irish, some English for this reality show. What was your kind of your first thoughts when they made contact with you about this show?
Yeah, so when I actually got the call, only people don't really know this. Only got the call about 2.5 weeks before we had to fly out for the show. So it was a pretty like, it all went really fast. Like as soon as I got the call, I was like, yeah, let's do this. You know what I mean? This is gonna be some crack. But yeah, it was like 2.5 weeks. I was actually, I had my pro debut booked for year against Maga, and
Magnus Barrow.
yes, yes. And I was getting ready for that, but actually at that time I had an injury, I had a rib injury, which was it was a reoccurring injury, but we've got that sorted. But so I went in there 2.5 weeks, but I knew they had the injury. But I was like, you know what, screw this, I'm still going in here. Let's do this thing. And but it was so fast, like everything was like boom, 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 boom. They had to get the people out to do the wee home video and stuff. But like I was just sort of like go with the flow, because it was just sort of like I can't really think about this too much. I don't even know what to expect. You know, I didn't even really know what it was. You know what I mean? It's just sort of like let's just do this. You know what I mean? Let's just go with the flow. And I was actually took the call. I was sitting watching my mate play football. I was eating a burger. So and then I was like, I bet you I'm fighting first. I bet you I get called first to fight. And what happens? I get called first to fight. So yeah, I quickly put the burger away.
Yeah, exactly. And like, look, obviously you had to fight on the show, and took a loss to Bo Gavin. But like, what was your overall, I guess, takeaway? Like, did you enjoy the experience? I'd say it was a fairly mad one when you're in a house and there's cameras in your face all the time, and you're in there on the same team as a guy who you've already fought, which is probably a weird thing as well.
Yeah.
What was it like overall for you over there?
It was a mad experience, Andy. Like it was one of them things where I couldn't really like, I was just sort of like, I couldn't be in my own head, because I would have just made it just a real horrible experience. So like, even though I did lose, I knew that I couldn't be sitting in my head, moping about and feeling sorry for myself. So I literally like just had to get on with it and push it to the side. And then the fact that there was still cameras on me, I was sitting eating my lunch, eating my breakfast, eating my dinner beside Bo. It was just a surreal experience. You'd never think you would go through anything like that, but like for the opportunity for getting that opportunity and experience, mate, like it was once in a lifetime experience for me. And like, only a small percentage of fighters even get to do this. Obviously, you have the Ultimate Fighter and stuff, but like with this year, the Octagon Challenge, man, like the fact there was challenges, we were all in the house together, we had to fight each other. It was just mad, mate. And say, dude, the most tiring thing it was the cameras and stuff, because you constantly sort of had to be. It's like you weren't on the edge, but like you sort of were. So you're like, all right, okay, because you don't want to say anything stupid or wrong. You know what I mean? And then they're constantly like, let this here, that's there, and you're constantly just watching over yourself and making sure you're not saying anything stupid. Um, but like, yeah, mate, it was just a great experience. I'm so grateful for it. And if it comes up for any Irish lads again, I would say jump on that in a heartbeat, because you'll love it. First of all, you're in Slovakia. If it's the summer sunny place, uh, you're getting food, you're getting, and then the thing is as well, like learning from Paddy and Sham and even the other lads. Like I took so many things from it, just from the tactical side, but the mental side as well. So the amount that I got from that show, the experience, the lessons, it's like, I can't even put it into words how much like I'm grateful for it. So it was just a great experience, man, and I'm happy that opportunity.
Have you watched the show back, or have you shied away from that?
Look, see, when it was coming up to the episodes coming out, I was like, I'm not watching this. I couldn't listen to myself. And then I was like, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's watch it. And I have watched it, mate. And do you know what? Like, I'm actually happy with the way I got on. You know what I mean? It was actually like, oh, fuck's sake, what people gonna think of me? But nah, I was happy enough, mate. Like, it was, it was a cracker show. It was funny. Like us Irish lads, we know how to have the crack. Like, and you know, fair play to the English boys. Like, if it wasn't for them, like it wouldn't be as good a show. But you know, they just didn't know how to have the crack like us. But I think you couldn't have, like, for our group, it was just we were all perfect because we all had our own wee personalities, and we all knew each other as well. So it's like it always just right timing and perfect for the four of us that were picked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that Octagon did a great job. Like, you know, when you do a show like this, you don't really know how it's going to be. Will it just be kind of like a cheap knockoff of Tough? But I actually think it was a bit more interesting, a bit more intriguing, and you know, energetic than some of the recent seasons anyway of the Ultimate Fighter. I think one of the things that did a great job of was kind of showcasing people's backgrounds. And I thought something that was very intriguing to me was it seems like you have a really strong relationship with your dad that they kind of
Yeah.
showcase. I believe I'm right in saying, like you said, that MMA, like when it comes to MMA, you're kind of doing it for him. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, dude. Like, I'll be honest with you, like, because my dad's put a lot of time and effort into me. You know, even in my football career, and my Gaelic career, and all, like all the lifts everywhere. Because I played for Crusaders and stuff as well, like, which is probably one of the top teams up in Northern Ireland, and just all the traveling and just all the journeys, and just, you know, me putting him through stuff that he didn't have to see, like, as a kid. Being in having to go to court and stuff, and just all the stuff with the police situations and stuff. It sort of broke my heart in a way, and I was like, right, I'm going to do this for him. You know what I mean? He's put a lot of time and effort, especially my mum as well, not just my dad. Like, but dad has been through a lot with me. You know what I mean? So I was just like, right, let's do this. I'm going to do this for him. You know what I mean? And for him seeing, like, obviously he was devastated with the fight and all, Octagon challenge, but he was proud of me and how I handled myself after it. So, like, that was a good thing. And yeah, like, just doing it for him and doing it for all my family, but like seeing him proud of me and seeing him happy is it's a great feeling, and that's what I want, because obviously there's been a lot of stuff, but, like, positive, good feelings is what I want. So seeing him happy and seeing him proud of me is the most important thing.
He also talked about your spiritual side. What was he kind of getting at with that? You said that you're a very spiritual person.
Yeah, like, I had a friend who, I've known since no age, and he's very into this spiritual side and his crystals and his, meditation and sage and all that stuff. And I sort of grew up with that as well. Like, when I was like 17, 18, I was getting that, even though I was a bad wee shit, I was still doing all that stuff. But I think that, half of the battle of, today's man is like that we're all inside our heads. You know what I mean? We're all so muddled up and just rattled by our own minds. And I just feel like, being on top of that, and connecting to the spirit and connecting to the, like, I always go out to nature and stuff, and, like, you take yourself up to the hills, to the mountains, and you can sort yourself out. That's all I say, is that, it being in this go environment, like, we're constantly on the go. We need to disconnect from that and then reconnect with our spiritual side, or our nature and all that stuff as well. So I always make sure that I do that. And I feel like in today's age, like, the phones, TVs, everywhere we look, we're constantly, our heads are constantly attached to something. You know what I mean? So, like, detaching from everything like that, it's so important. And I've done that now for a good while, and just making sure that I'm connected to nature and connected to my true self and the spirit and all that and it just plays so well into the game of MMA as well. Like, you can get lost in your mind, you get trapped in that mind, and when you're in there, and if you're trapped in your mind in that cage, it's a shit scene. And I'll be honest with you, in my amateur career, there's a few fights where I was trapped in my own head, and I let the mind take over, and then I was like, started to have, all right, that's what happened, and then pulling that back, and getting back to your true self. So I always make sure that the mind's always out, and the spirit, and because it's all connected. You know what I mean? So if you're not on top of that, then some people are just dumb as well, though. So, like, they just can just robot about and just, you know what I mean. But, like, I'm very, I don't know, maybe I'm emotional on my heart. I wear my heart on my sleeve, so I have to make sure that all that stuff is correct and it's flowing well.
Absolutely. And look, you obviously did have a fight with Bo Gavin in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't go on your record, but it's not like it's a pro setting without it counting in your pro record. Did it teach you anything, or did it give you any new looks that the amateur tenure didn't give you?
Oh yes. Well, I was going to say about the minutes, but sure, I think we made it 30 seconds after an amateur round, so that doesn't really count me saying that.
Ah,
But
it's just it still counts.
still counts. Yeah, we'll say that, right? But the pro gloves, you can't sit and bang anymore. You can't stand in that middle of that cage and swing punches. The amateur gloves, you can get away with it, but see the pro gloves, you take a couple of them hard shots of them gloves, and you're saying night night. So just getting used to the. Like, I'm actually telling you the truth. See, when I was in the fight with Bo, he hit me one. I went, oh my God, those pro gloves hit different. Like, literally, middle of the fight, that's what I said to myself. So that's the biggest thing I take from it, the pro gloves. And like, even the fact that it's like 2 minutes extra and stuff, it's not really that big of a deal. But the pro gloves, I fought Muay Thai and all with knees and elbows, so I'm sort of used to that. And the only thing is, maybe taking an elbow to the head when you're under someone's probably devastating. Actually, I took a few punches on, but don't think I took an elbow. But the pro gloves was a big thing. You can't stand and trade any. Like, it'd be stupid to stand and trade. That's what I'm saying with them gloves, those gloves.
Dennis and George are obviously going to compete in the final, but the main storyline I thought throughout this was Dennis versus Hassan, who we'll talk about in the context of yourself fighting him soon enough. But like, this was just constant. It was back and forth. And Dennis, we had him on the L Triangle there recently. I was like, you're essentially torturing this poor poor lad. What was it like for you to witness it? We're obviously looking at it from across a screen. When you're there day in, day out, what was that like? Was it as intense as it was portrayed on screen?
Yeah, it was. It was like Dennis is a funny man. He's up to his tricks when he does that. Like, you know what I mean? And I think it worked out very well for in that fight as well. In the house he was terrorizing that poor boy. You know what I mean? He was torturing him. Pretty sure he farted on him at one point. And it's just like, I'll be honest, I felt sorry for him at one point. You know what I mean? I was like, oh Jesus, this is still going, that poor fella. Like, but he bit. He kept on biting. You know what I mean? So it was his own fault. Like, the other English lads knew rightly, but I think the fact that the English lads, the other ones, didn't bite back, because they knew if they bit back, it was gonna be what Hassan was getting. So Hassan got the short straw. But if it wasn't for Hassan, it wouldn't have been as entertaining. So like tennis terrorizing, but like, even when we were doing the water balloons and just everything, it was just, oh, the poor boy, like, probably couldn't even sleep at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would I be right in saying that, like, it came across that you were one of the more maybe calm or level-headed of the Irish team in the house? Were you kind of trying to play the all right, let's chill out a little bit here now, lads. We've taken it to a certain level. We'll temper it a bit.
Yeah. It's like, I just felt sorry for him sometimes. I was just like, right, lads, let's just take comment out a wee bit. But it's just, you can't tell Irish lad to do that. You see if you do say that, they probably try and do it more. You know what I mean? But yeah, there had to be some sort of line that we couldn't cross. So I tried to keep it like that. But I honestly just thought it was crack as well. Like, I didn't really want to be malicious or in that sort of way. But I don't think it ever got to that. Well, it did. There was one point where Hassan absolutely lost the plot. Like, it was near to whack a cameraman. I don't think they put it in, but yeah, he absolutely lost the plot. He was walking about with a stick, banging these doors and everything. It was nuts. But yeah, it was. I was gonna say yeah, but I was just thinking, Jesus, I was being a wee dick sometimes. Like, but yeah, sure, we'll leave that.
Like, the cameras didn't catch all that, so
yeah,
didn't happen. Yeah.
Hide behind the camera.
What was your favorite challenge on the show? It seemed like they were good crack.
The water rafting, the one we won.
Okay, is that just because you won?
Yeah, probably, but no, just because it was more like physical and like the water and stuff, and it was actually great crack. It was like it was exciting. You know what I mean? With the other ones, the Lambo one was a bit like, it was nerve wracking because it was the first challenge, the first fight, everything. We were all over the shop. You know what I mean? But it had to be the water rafting, the medieval or whatever you call it, the armored one. Yeah. That was good crack because the scenery, man, was beautiful. It was like up at a castle somewhere outside Slovakia somewhere. It was a brilliant day up in these hills. That was great crack, but you couldn't beat the water rafting. Was it water rafting?
Yeah, whitewater rafting. Yeah, whitewater rafting.
Yeah.
The other thing that was revealed in the quiz was you've a tattoo, tattooed 4 times in your body. Can you reveal to anyone who doesn't know what is the tattoo?
I've got no. It's just it's
the number, right?
Yeah, the number 11 4 times.
So why do you have the number 11 tattooed 4 times?
Well, I'm born in the 11th month, which is November. So's my mother. My mum is actually, I'm 15th November and my mum's 14th November. So I was her wee gift. So we say that. Yeah, it was just my favorite number. Oh, there's another reason why as well, but I can't actually think of it right now. But yeah, my favorite number and born 11th month. And it used to always be my lucky number if I was ever going to try and win something. So that's probably it.
Yeah. Well, look, the fight coming up against Hassan, we mentioned there, you know, it was Dennis and Hassan going back and forth throughout. They obviously fought, Dennis beating him. Where did the animosity come between yourself and Hassan? Because it seemed to kick off a little bit towards the end of the show between the pair of you. And obviously you're booking out to fight. Where did the animosity come from there?
Yeah, well, I remember there was a time where we were coming back from the one of the challenges, and he made a wee sly remark about myself, and I sort of just like, who's this guy talking to? And then even at the start of the show, you didn't get to see it, but we were sort of at the very start of the show, we were both sort of giving each other a bit of shit and stuff. And then after at the end of the show, I was like, look, I'm gonna fight this guy, no problem, you know what I mean? And I was like, I'm gonna make sure I'm on that Manchester card. So I sort of just was like, I remember you're talking shit about me, mate. You go and say it again. And then that's when we were in the wee coffee room, and I was like, I should remember you were talking shit about me. So are you still gonna talk shit about me? And then he was like, yeah. And then so we're like, fuck it, let's do this. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, I just think as well that I just think the way he was getting on, like he just like completely overlooking me and thinks that I'm just gonna fucking, he's just gonna come out and knock me out. So I was like, yeah, like I want to make this fight because he's obviously he's obviously under Brad Pickett as well, and so I wanted to get one up on them as well because even some of the stuff that they've seen after and all the way they've looked at me, full respect to Brad Pickett's not, but I'm just saying like I just felt a wee bit like they underestimate me, and
Is this Team England on the show or is this GB Top Team?
GB Top Team. Like I know full
Okay.
respect, but I'm just saying like some of the stuff that I heard after, about like how they think of me as a fighter and I'm one dimensional and all this sort of stuff. I was sort of like, okay, right, this is really pumped it up for me. And I think it was, and also I think that it was a great fight it would be a great fight, me and Hassan fighting. So even at the end of the show, I was like, this would be a great fight. I know Octagon would love it. Hassan's a bit of a mouth as well. He said a few things about me, so I was like, let's see if he still wants to talk shit. And then he was happy enough to oblige, and we got at it, and he said a few things about me. I said a few things about him, and look, he's an old man, so we're gonna see who's gonna be the last one standing in there, and he doesn't take it seriously, and I found a new name, Lazy Gelezi, so he's going to I did a wee thinger with him, face to face with him, and he's all this, all that, and all, and he says he's gonna knock me out. So we're gonna see what happens. But this man doesn't take this sport seriously like I do. I'm hungry, and he's not hungry. He's got businesses. He's got wads of cash. He whopped out a big 10 grand of cash when we were over there, and I was going, might rob that. So, you know what I mean? And but no, he's got everything, you know what I mean? So like I've got fuck all, man, you know what I mean? I'm hungry, and he as another thing as well. I was giving him a few messages, trying to give him a wee fucking few jabs in the Instagram, you know what I mean? And he only started training in September for this fight, man. As soon as I left that house, I was on the train. I was training away, man. So I've been training for 4 months thinking about this guy. He's
So
been what,
you feel
8
like
weeks?
you're more dedicated than he is to this fight.
100%, 100%. He's and then he talks about this is because my pro debut and stuff that it's the bright lights, the thing and all. And I forgot to say, mate, like you fought bums and bum shows, like you know what I mean. This is the same for you, mate. You know what I mean. So, yeah, he thinks that the fact that I'm going into my pro debut that I'm gonna freeze up. So I can't wait. Like man, I'm gonna be honest, Andy. Like I haven't been this excited to go and perform ever in my career. Like mate, the second Mario fight, I think when I was like this, and I'm just excited, and I can't wait to have fun in there. Oh, do you know why, mate? It's like I put in so much hard work. It's time to enjoy this and time to have fun, and that's why like I can't wait to get in there, man. And I'm actually happy that I've jumped the queue, mate. I'm fighting in A arena for my pro debut. You know what I mean? It's not like you don't really get that. You have to fight in the local shows first. I'm going straight into the deep end, man. But you know what? I love it. I love the pressure. I love it all, man. And I'm going to make sure I make the most out of this opportunity.
Yeah, like how do you feel about that? Obviously, there's a big difference between fighting in a local, say, GAA hall or something like that to an arena like that. And I don't know if they'll set it out, but if they do, it is an 18,000 seater. So to fight it even in a fraction of that, if you're fighting in front of a big crowd like that, do you need to mentally prepare yourself? Like, how do you feel about going in there and pro debut?
Yeah, well, that's it, Andy. Like the fact is that I'm going, like, even if it don't, like, even I'm the first fight, so I don't expect it to be anywhere near what it's going to be at the end of the night. But the thing is, I'm going into the AO arena. Like, what do we have? We had the Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith there a couple of months ago, or maybe was it the start of this month? These are big fights happening in this arena, and I'm going in there to make my professional debut. There's a lot on the line here. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress, but at the end of the day, man, I feel like I'm built for this, and I feel like this is my time now to make a run, and I've got everything else sorted out in my life, and that's why it's like, yeah, this. It's all about timing, man, and I feel like this is the right time. And as you said, mate, like I could have been making my pro debut in the Canal Court Hotel, but I'm making my pro debut in AO Arena in Manchester, and it's a wild experience. But like as I said, man, like you have to be prepared in every shape, like in the technique, in your engine, and then in your mind as well. And I've put a lot of effort into basically working on my mind, and that's I think that's where it comes from. So like you're gonna see a calm, composed fighter in there, and the environment or the situation isn't gonna get to me. It's just another day in the office, man, on a Saturday. So I'm actually excited for it. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to like get in there and feel him out, man. So I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing, and it's yes, it's the AO Arena, man, but it's just another fight.
I think it's a brilliant opportunity. Coming in here, you've had your amateur career now. Now it's onto the pros. As I said, it's a great opportunity. You're dropped in kind of like into mayhem already, where you're in a reality show. Now you're going fighting in front of arena. When you're looking at your pro career, like what are your goals? Like what do you want to achieve in MMA? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time?
Well, look, man, like I feel like I can make a run in Octagon. I feel like I can get a world championship in Octagon. I feel like if I just stay on the right track and keep on doing what I'm doing, like the sky's the limit, man. Like and even beyond, man, because I just feel like I've got everything right now, man. I've got everything in order and everything on track. Like I'll be honest, with you, man, a few things were happening and it was taking me away and taking my mind elsewhere. But I'm fully focused in. I'm fully devoted. I'm fully loving it now, man. So like this is the time, man, where to really take this opportunity. And I feel like, man, I can take over this lightweight division. And man, let's be honest, man, I can make 145 as well. So like I've got opportunities there. And the next 5 years, man, I had a plan with my coach, and over the next 4 years at the start of 2023 to be a world champion. And this is the perfect opportunity in Octagon. So like mark my words, man, this is the goal. This is the dream. And I'm starting to see it as being realistic now, mate. And I can see myself being a world champion here, and then hopefully, being the UFC here soon as well.
Well, look, the next step lies through Hascen Gelezi coming up here. Who's going to be in your corner for the fight?
Sebastian Torres,
yeah,
the one and only Seb, and Kieran Brady.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. And how do you see this fight playing out with Hassan?
Third round ground and pound.
So how do the first 2 rounds go?
I'm going to bring him into them deep waters, and I'm going to drown him, Andy. He's and that I spoke to him there this morning, and we face to face, and he kept on saying about how calm he was, He must have mentioned it about 10 times. So that man's feeling it. He's going to gas out. I'm going to take him into that first. I'm going to take him in that second round. See if he's not looking away out in the second round. He's going to be looking away out in the third round, 100%. I'm going to let him choose his poison, Andy. He's going to. He's just going to be looking away out. Let's be honest. First round, he's going to be hard. He's going to be tough. He's going to be swinging windmills. But after I don't want to say it, but I think even after the first round, he's going to be gassed out, mate, in the second round. But I'm just going to say, look, I'll give him it. He's had his 8-week camp. So we'll say third round, ground and pound. But yeah, man, I'm going to bring in them deep waters and try him, mate. I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
Well, Aaron, look, I really appreciate the time today. I've kept you a lot longer than I had anticipated to, and I promised you. But look, fans can tune in on Saturday, the 4th of November, Octagon 48, headlined by Aaron Abbey and Elias Garcia, I believe, for the Flyweight Championship. You'll be opening the card, so fans can tune in on DAZN. And look, appreciate the time. If anyone hasn't seen the Octagon Challenge, you can go check it out on Channel 4 Sport on YouTube. I highly recommend it. I thoroughly enjoyed it myself, and appreciate the time. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you,
we'll chat again soon, Aaron. All the best.
Cheers, sir. Bye-bye.